Hey. Breaking news. I've seen the leaks. I've seen the Gen X leaks. Or leak, rather. I've seen the image. And after staring at it for about an hour, I think I have a theory on how they're going to work. I'm not going to show the image. I'm not going to show where I got it, but I've seen it. It's not the whole Beyblade. So, but it's enough. It's enough for me to have an idea of kind of how I think it's going to work. So the recent news has been that Gen X will burst, but it's a new system. It's not going to burst the same way. And I think I know how they're going to burst. I think it's a complete redesign of the system, and I'm going to explain, I'm going to try to articulate this as best I can how I think it's going to work. So this, hold on, let me grab both of these. So burst. This is burst. The driver and the layer are what come apart. I don't think that's how it's going to be with Gen X. So plastic Gen, you've got bit chips, right? These are removable. Actually, the first instance of a burst win, or the assimilation of a burst win, was knocking off an opponent's bit chip back in the early days of plastic Gen. The rule was later abandoned, but in the super early days, that was a win condition. From what I've seen in this image, this leak, there's a sort of something similar to a bit chip. So there's that first off, which I'm going to talk about briefly. I think that the whole fantasy element of Beyblade is going to come back as far as the anime and the manga goes. I think that's a given. I think that we're going to see some sort of creature contained inside of a Beyblade piece again. I think that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to be Bit Beast necessarily. It could be something similar, but I think we're going back to that. And I think the way that it's going to work is the way the image looks. It looks kind of like a Valkyrie layer, but there is a circular chip. It doesn't have these protrusions. It's just a chip. Imagine like Yokai Watch, like a Yokai Watch metal, but about the size of a dime, and it sits in the center, right? And it looks like there is a lever that holds that piece on. So you've got, pretend this is the little Yokai Watch metal, right? And then you've got this little tiny, let me get something. Let me get a thing somewhere. Pretend this is a lever, right? So you've got the little bit chip thing, and then you've got this lever that kind of sits here. It looks like a lever. Okay, I don't know that it is, but it looks like it. It looks like it holds it in place. Again, it's not the full image, but I would venture to bet that there is another one at the bottom. Maybe just one. Maybe there'll be different Beyblades that have multiple ones. This is all theory, okay? This is speculation. But from what I can gather from the image, I'm thinking this is how it works. There's some sort of pressure, spring-loaded lever that holds this chip in. And that chip, I don't know how the Beyblade works. I don't know how it's formed. I don't know the engineering. I don't know how it works. I don't even know if this is accurate. But I'm thinking those levers hold that in place, and during battle, those levers somehow can get knocked back, and the thing can pop out. Think like Metabots, back when like, in the show when like, you know, Metabot would lose, the metal would pop out the back from a little spring-loaded thing. I'm thinking that's what it is. That's my theory. I don't know if it's true, but that's my theory, and it makes sense. Like from a marketing perspective, it makes a lot of sense, because now you got the whole collectible little monster things like the Yokai Watch medals, or the what are they? The Metabot medals or whatever. I feel like they had a term. I don't remember what they called it. I literally have some in my closet. Anyway, so you've got this little collectible thing. They could have different gimmicks. They could have different thicknesses or different, maybe rubber or something. I don't know. Things that somehow change the burst resistance or whatever. I have no idea, man. This is all speculation, but that's what it looks like. From the picture that I've seen, it looks like there is a lever that's holding that centerpiece in. Now, I don't know necessarily that the rest of the Beyblade doesn't pop apart as well, but it doesn't. If that's the way it works, I'm guessing it's just that centerpiece that pops out. So, which I'm totally fine with. I think that's great. I would much rather have one piece pop off that you put back in than, you know, 4 or 5 different pieces come apart, and every time they burst, you got to put back together, you know, 27 pieces. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think down below. Again, it's not a full image. It's like, it's cropped, and it's, you know, obviously it's one angle, but just the way that it's, that little protrusion is sitting there, it doesn't make sense with the rest of it. I'm thinking it moves, and I'm thinking that centerpiece, because it doesn't look like it's sat in there any other way unless it's just pressure fit in or something like a bit chip, you know, which these, you know, they've got these little tabs in that hold it in. The center of the Gen X image that I've seen is literally just a circle. There's no protrusions coming off it. It's just, it looks like the only thing holding it in, unless it's integrated into the layer or the attack ring or whatever, is the little lever. So that's it. That's all I got. Nobody, I don't have anybody else to talk about this with, so I'm talking with you guys, and I want you guys to let me know. We're gonna have information very soon. The May issue comes out in like, what, tomorrow? A couple days or something. The Core May issue comes out in April. So Core is like a month ahead. So we're in April, right? Yeah. So we should have information like the next day or two. So I guess we'll find out if I'm right. If I'm right, then I called it. Thanks for watching.